What's up, guys? Just here by my channel. Tonight I'll be doing a review for Friday Night Smackdown. So let's get to it then with the little segment with Sol Sikoa and his MFTs. Alright, Sol Sikoa, Jason Mateo, Tonga, and Tonga Loa all come out during Sikoa gets on the mic and says MFT is in the building and he wants to remind everyone they run SmackDown. Sikoa talks about showing up at Raw and taking out Sami Zayn. Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu. Sami Zayn's music hits and he makes his way out. Zayn comes out and gets on the ring apron and tells MFT to take it down a notch and says he just wants to talk. Sikoa signals for Mateo Loa and Tonga to stand on the apron so Zayn can feel safe to talk one-on-one with Sikoa. Zayn says he was furious he lost his title shot at Clash of Champions, but he feels liberated. He says he was spinning his wheels, and now that's away from he can focus on other goals. I think Sikoa Zayn says he has never held the United States Championship, and Sikoa tells him he'll never be the U.S. champion, and they're not even on the same brand, and tells Zayn to leave. Zayn says as of tonight, Zayn is officially on SmackDown and he's coming for Sikoa. The two start punching each other and an MFT rush in and start beating on Zayn. Jimmy Uso runs down to make the save, but he's outnumbered as well. Jacob Fatu runs out to even the odds. Fatu punches out. Sikoa Tonga goes after Fatu and takes all three men to send Tala Tonga over the ropes. Nick Aldis comes out and says, "This isn't how you welcome someone to SmackDown." Aldis says, "A six-man tag match. What happened tonight with Uso, Fatu, Zayn versus any three members for MFT?" And Byron Saxton talks to Chelsea Green backstage about Secret Service. So they messed up, which was last week. Blah blah. Alright, so first match coming up is Alexa Bliss with Charlotte Flair versus Piper Niven with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Alright, the bell rings and Bliss tells Niven to hold up and shows off Lily and gets attacked by Niven. Bliss punches Niven back, who chomps Bliss to her knees. Green and Fire head to attack the Lily doll, and Flair stops them. Bliss punches Niven in the ring and gets on Niven's back. Niven slams Bliss off her back and punches Bliss in the middle of the ring. Niven chokes Bliss on the second rope and takes down Bliss with a sidewalk slam. And we cut commercial break, and we're back to SmackDown. Niven has Bliss down and being in the corner. Niven runs at Bliss like a bull and misses the cannonball in the corner. Both women are now laid out, and Bliss tries to get momentum behind her. Bliss kicks and punches Niven down and hits a couple sentons on Niven, followed by a neckbreaker. Bliss covers Niven for a 2 count. Niven headbutts Bliss and then cannonballs Bliss in the corner. Niven goes to splash Bliss and misses. Bliss DTs Niven and then goes to hit Twisted Bliss. Green and Fire try to distract Bliss. Flair takes out Green and Bliss rolls up Niven for the win. So winner is Alexa Bliss. Then after the match, Fire attacks Bliss. Flair comes in and takes out the Green ring game. Where you say the 3-on-2 ends up being too much for the non-friends, and the segment ends with the Green ring game taking out Bliss and Flair and Bliss. Then Timmy Stratton and Jake Cargo talking back to Nick Aldis, and then Nia Jax comes out to who is the next in line to take championship away from Tony Stratton stuff. So anyway, second match, Miz and Carmelo Hayes versus Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. Alright, Hayes and Axiom go to start, and the Miz tags himself in. Joe Gacy is seen in the crowd with his tag titles. The Miz and Axiom exchange holds in the middle of the ring, and then we see Dexter Lumis in the crowd as well. Axiom and the Miz struggle for power, and the Miz gets Axiom on the mat. Axiom flips the Miz over, and the Miz flips Axiom back. The Miz kicks Axiom and gets him in an armbar. Axiom flips out of the hole and slaps the Miz. Frazier is tagged in and he flies around the ring, and Hayes is tagged in. Hayes is flipped on the mat and Frazier kicks Hayes down. Axiom is tagged in and Hayes is double teamed. The Miz runs in and he's double teamed too. Axiom and Frazier diver out to both the Miz and Hayes, and the trade off doing the dive chain, and we go commercial break. And then back to SmackDown. The match two. Hayes takes down Axiom and covers him for a near fall. Hayes locks Axiom in a headlock, and Axiom punches out of the hole. Hayes super kicks Axiom, but gets rolled up by Axiom for a near fall. Hayes hits a sit out powerbomb and covers for a 2 count. Hayes is kicked down, and the Miz and Frazier are tagged in. Frazier zips around the ring and hits a shooting star press on the Miz and covers him for a 2 count. Frazier climbs the ropes and misses a Phoenix Splash, but rolls the Miz for a near fall. Hayes is tagged in, and Frazier beats up both Hayes and the Miz. Frazier hits a Spanish Fly on Hayes and covers for 2. Axiom is tagged in, and Hayes connects with an elbow to Axiom. Axiom kicks a Hayes and tags Frazier. Axiom hits a Spanish Fly, and Frazier hits the Phoenix Splash, and the Miz breaks the pin, jumping off of Frazier DDTing Axiom. Hayes and Frazier are on the top turnbuckles. Frazier flips off and kicks Hayes. The Miz DDTs Axiom on the apron, and Hayes hits a cutter on Frazier from the top rope. The Miz tags himself in and hits a skull-crushing finale and gets the pin, and Hayes isn't happy. So winners are The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. The Miz and Hayes celebrating the ring. Hayes looks visibly annoyed. Alright, so Timmy Stratton walks back. As the counter, James walks up and Stratton fights her to get back up and stuff. And then Gia asks where Julie is. James tells Stratton that she takes care of Julia's stuff, so that she's not here. Stratton declines James' service, and James threatens Stratton, and Stratton leaves. Mission comes by, and then says she has Gia next and stuff. So, anyways, sorry, that sounds so lazy the way I said that. I was reading that. So, anyways, we have a segment with Drew McIntyre. Alright, Drew McIntyre makes his way out to address his attack on Cody Rhodes. Last week, McIntyre says everyone has been asking him why he Claymore Rhodes' head. Through the announce desk, he gets the clip to be played again so he can admire his handiwork. McIntyre says he did not attack Rhodes, and our eyes have lied to us, and he'll explain later. He asks Joe Tessitore about Rhodes' health update, and Tessitore says there is no update. McIntyre says it's because the higher ups are hiding the severity of his injuries. He says Rose needs a consistent validation, and he knows this because he was Rhodes 5 years ago. He says he wants the WWE title as he has been screwed out of it, and he has earned it. He wants it for him and for his. I mean, wants it for him, his family, the big paycheck. He says Rhodes is no one without the title, so he needs. McIntyre says Rhodes attacked him and not the other way around. McIntyre walks us through the events of last week, but he gives us a version that favors him. McIntyre says he's not the bad guy unless he provokes. And then we already finished the segment and stuff. Then Bart Sainz watches match with Brief Office and B-Fad, Balance Up, and by MT, and then yeah. So, anyways, alright. Third match coming up. Tommaso Ciampa, Jar Gargano with Kenzo Ray versus Street Profits, Montez Ford, and Andrew Dawkins with BFAP. Ford and Ciampa start off. Ford kicks Ciampa down and covers for a quick 1 count. Ciampa kicks Ford and tags in Gargano. Ford is double teamed in the corner, and Gargano kicks Ford in the corner. Ciampa is tagged in, and Ford is double teamed again, and Ford escapes the tag and tags in Dawkins. Dawkins takes down Ciampa and hits a flapjack on Gargano. Dawkins flies into Ciampa in the corner and sends him out of the ring. Dawkins goes to attack Ciampa, but Larray stops the attack by getting in the way. Gargano kicks Dawkins on the apron and we get a commercial break. Then we're back to SmackDown, and Gargano punches out Dawkins in the corner. Dawkins hits a DDT on Gargano. Both men are laid out. Gargano tags out, as does Dawkins. Forward kicks Ciampa in the head and comes off the top rope and takes Ciampa out. Ciampa is knocked down in the ring and takes down with a clothesline. Gargano runs in and Ford takes out Gargano. Ciampa is taken down with a net breaker by Ford, and then Ford hits a standing moonsault and covers Ciampa for a 2 count. Dawkins is tagged in, and Ciampa punches out both guys, but gets taken out and covered. Gargano breaks the pin. Ford kicks Gargano out of the ring. In the ring, the Profits go for the blockbuster. Outside the ring, Larray slams BFAB and the steel steps, distracting the Profits in the ring. DIY hits the fairy tale ending on Ford, and Dawkins breaks the pin. All 4 men battle in the ring, and Ford punches Gargano in the throat. Larray hits a head scissors on Ford. Gargano hits a DDT on Ford and covers for a near fall. BFAB attacks Larray outside the ring. Ford rolls up Ciampa for a 2 count, then kicks Ciampa. Dawkins is tagged in, and Ciampa is spine bustered, and then Frog splashes and covers for the win. So winners are Street Profits. Carmelo Hayes talks to Nick Aldis, asks for the United States Championship. So the Miz apologizes for interrupting and stuff, and then Machine Guns assaulting each other and stuff. So yeah, then after that, Bart Sainz talks backstage. As Truth and Cena about Cena stuff. Excuse me, I got chills. For feel great. It feels great that John Cena's back. Then after Black comes by, tells him that to tell his truth, if only he had for Demon Priest and stuff. Then so for next week's match, then Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jay Uso are getting ready for their match next and stuff. Says I said Jacob Fatu wasn't barely knows him and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, main event coming up: Sol Sikoa, Jason Mateo, and Tonga Loa with Tala Tonga versus Jimmy Uso, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn. Alright, Uso and Mateo start off first. Mateo batters Uso in the corner. Uso kicks and punches Mateo and kicks down Mateo hard and tags Zayn. Zayn works on Mateo's arm, and Loa is now tagged in. And Loa punches Zayn in the corner. Zayn is thrown outside the ring, and Tala Tonga kicks Zayn with a commercial break. And back to Smackdown. Sikoa knocks down Zayn, mounts him, and starts unleashing punches onto Zayn and slams his head against the mat. Mateo is tagged in, and Zayn moves out of the way right before Mateo could take him out. Sikoa is tagged in again, and Sikoa knocks Uso off the apron and then chops Zayn. Zayn is sat on the top row and comes off and connects with Tornado DT and slams down Sikoa. Fatu is tagged in as is Loa. Fatu takes down Loa and hits him with some strikes. Fatu splashes onto Loa and then slams into Loa in the corner. Fatu headbutts Loa several times, then follows that up with a running hip attack. Mateo runs in and Fateo sends him out of the ring, and then Uso suicide dives onto Mateo in the ring. Fatu hits a pop-up Samoan drop on Loa and covers him for a near fall. Fatu climbs the ropes and Sikoa tries to knock him down, then goes for a small tom bomb, but Loa gets his knees up. Sikoa is tagged in and he hits an Uso splash on Mateo and covers for a near fall. Sikoa punches Mateo in the ring and they trade super kicks, then take each other down with a double clothesline. Fatu tags Zayn in, and Zayn hits a blue thunder bomb on Sikoa, and Mateo breaks the pin. Uso kicks Mateo. Loa takes out Uso. Fatu takes out Loa. Tonga Sikoa goes for the solo spike, but Zayn counters and hits an exploder in the corner, then connects with a haluva kick and gets the win. So winners are Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu. The men celebrate in the ring. Fatu and Zayn hug as the show goes out there and stuff. So yeah, that's how the show ends. So yeah, good show tonight and stuff. I enjoyed it. Man, I thought Jacob Fatu was gonna I had a feeling he was gonna accept him anyways and stuff. So yeah, good show tonight. It was alright and stuff. A little slow and stuff, but whatever we're gonna do. But anyways, that was this first video. Hope you like it. And not whatever stuff. So like, subscribe, hit the button, leave a comment. And guys, leave me comments down in the care guys. And that was it. Now I'll see you guys Monday night for Monday Night Raw, right? Laters.